U.S. White House backs aggressive power grid emissions cuts. Report requiring power utilities to reduce use of coal and natural gas is a key part of U.S. President Biden's climate plan. Many U.S. utilities have plans to remove carbon from their systems due to investor pressure or state mandates. The White House hopes to capitalize on growing support from United States utilities, unions and green groups for a national clean energy mandate by backing efforts to require the U.S. power grid to get 80% of its power from emissions-free sources by 2030, a senior administration official tells the Reuters news agency. A 2030 target would be a milestone on the way to achieving U.S. President Joe Biden's stated ambition of net zero carbon emissions in the grid by 2035. It could also potentially be passed without Republican support through a process called budget reconciliation. Our goal is to enact this into law, Deputy White House Climate Advisor Ali Zaidi told Reuters, which reported the news on Tuesday, speaking of the administration's push for a so-called Clean Energy Standard, CES, to decarbonize the power sector. The latter would require reductions in emissions by adopting renewable sources, wind and solar, using nuclear energy, or finding ways to suck up and sequester greenhouse gas emissions from fossil fuel plants. There are multiple pathways to get meaningful progress in the power sector, Zaidi said. We think this is a really powerful one in terms of giving utilities a clear and clean planning horizon. Requiring utilities to move away from coal and natural gas is a cornerstone of U.S. President Joe Biden's plan to slash greenhouse gas emissions in half across the U.S. economy in the next 10 years.